Right then, good afternoon everybody and welcome back to EA Racing League round 8 that we get taken to this afternoon, and it is, of course, as you can see, the Abu Dhabi circuit. It has been a long while since I've been able to commentate at this track, but we are back, and what a circuit it is for the EA Racing League here today. And just to spice it up a little bit more, we have got the wet weather on the track today. We've got the intermediate tyres being used by the drivers, and it should be a good afternoon. Wolfie subscribes again at Tier 1 for 7 months. Thank you very much, Wolfie. I appreciate that very much so, and the bits he sent last night means a lot. We're glad you're here with us today. Thank you for joining us in the stream. 15 minutes of qualifying, everybody, and last race was Singapore here for the EA Racing League. In the first tier, we have Chris currently leading the World Championship standings with 121 points in the Sauber. Had a very successful run this season so far, leading the championship, of course. Second place, Scott Holmes. Third is Ballint, 4 Cloud. And 5 is Barmy Tick. We've got a new driver joining us, I believe, of Mashtag Brady, unless he's changed his name, but I'm not entirely sure. And we've got Victor in the Ferrari as well, which is nice to see. And Pulse too, who, and maybe Scissors as well. I'm not entirely sure. I think some of them are new names that at least I've seen in the EA Racing League. But today should be good, everybody, here for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in the 8th round of the season. If you're in the chat, let us know. Drop in your qualifying predictions. We've got a long afternoon ahead of us. We've got a short qualifying and a 50% race, and qualifying is going to take 14 minutes from this moment on. The times are going to be a lot slower than, of course, you would usually get, because, of course, the intermediate tyres and the wet weather is going to slow them down a lot. Wolf in the chat, totally not planning while watching. What are we planning for the new season, mate? Are we planning for the new season in CPG? Have to let us know. Maybe is anything else you could tell us, maybe, once you've organised it. Would be pretty cool. But we've got a few drivers on the track then, ladies and gentlemen, here in Abu Dhabi. What a track it is, under the bright spotlights in the wet weather today. It is pretty incredible stuff to see. The cars look like toy cars on the track as they head down all the way down to the left-hander, with Pulse in the Williams, who I'm not entirely sure where this man is in the championship, possibly a reserve. I did check the attendance earlier on, and there was a lot of reserves compared to full-time drivers racing. An F1 Lightning kick-starts the afternoon off. It's a 1 minute 35.1. And a decent start to qualifying for him in the wet weather, of course, as across the line goes Vettel, 1:35.1. Then quickly beaten by Scott Holmes, 1:34.2. And Bjarni sets it in second place, ladies and gentlemen, in the McLaren. Lovely start from the top 4 there, and we'll see where they will end up then towards the end of qualifying. Still 12 minutes to go. Wolfie, you are absolutely right, it is. And yeah, the heavens have opened above us here in Abu Dhabi this afternoon, as the drivers clearly still not proving a challenge for them, is it, at all? But I am very much looking forward to seeing what we're going to get from this race this afternoon, everybody. 12.5 minutes to go. 17 drivers joining us this afternoon, so a very full grid, and around the same number we usually get, which is exactly what we like to see. Scott Holmes is out there. He did put the lap on the board to put it on provisional pole, and that should be it for him for now. Pulse second place, Bjarni third. We've got Edsy putting it in 4. Scissors lines up 5. We've got DM in 7 now, as Chris across the line, the championship leader in the Sauber. It is a 1:34.2 and 5/100ths of a second faster than Scott Holmes this time there. He marks his territory on provisional pole in the early stages. Still 12 minutes to go. Best part of 12 minutes, everybody. But the championship leader reigning high once again. P1 this afternoon. It's good to see for Chris in the Sauber. He's 121 points, 112 is what Scott Holmes is on, and he lines up in second place. So the championship is being clearly represented on the leaderboard here today in Abu Dhabi, with only about, I think, 2 rounds left after this race today. I'm going to quickly check for you, but from what I know, Should be 2 rounds left. Abu Dhabi, yes, round 8. It's a 10-round season. We're going to Vegas next week. Then it is Monza to round the season off on the 12th to the 14th of September, ladies and gentlemen. As yellow flags down the main straight. Possibly a car going a bit slower than the usual pace then. But the Constructors' Championship, a bit of a different story. The Williams cars of Edzzy and Pulse, usually Balint and Edzzy, as full-time drivers, they lead the World Championship, ladies and gentlemen. At the moment, Barmy Tick across the line, just about to get to their team. The Kick Saubers, who line up second in the World Championship, and 11 points behind the Williams team. Wow. It's 1 and 2 in qualifying, everybody, provisionally. They could go on to take the front row lockout this afternoon in qualifying in Abu Dhabi for the 8th round of the season. Sauber, second place in the championship standings, 11 points away from the Williams. And qualifying at the moment looking a lot stronger than the Williams. But F1 Lightning across the line, he set the banker lap earlier on. Now he comes in again, strikes once more. It's second place, 1:33.6, 2 tenths slower than Barmy Tick. But he's quite a bit faster than the second Kick Sauber. Scott Holmes over the line. He fights back again. He's into the 132s now in the wet weather. It's a 132.893. And he's much faster than Barmy Tick here. The track is ramping up. The driver's finding even more time as the track gets faster and faster. This is brilliant to see. Scott Holmes, who his team are 3rd in the championship standings, and apparently he doesn't have a teammate. So that man has got them points himself, from what I can see. So a good job from Scott Holmes then, everybody, in the RB. Oh, McLaren off in the background there. Sam Wipeout in the wet weather on the intermediates. This came off the track, everybody, and invalidates this lap around. Not entirely sure what happened with him there exactly, but he brings himself back on behind his teammate of Bjarni. Never mind, he retires on the track, and that is it for his qualifying session. So P14 or below, he'll be starting, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon for the Grand Prix. Eight and a half minutes of qualifying, everybody. We've got the new driver of Defi, as Reaper in the Jack Crossley comms chat joins us and sends us some bits. 13 bits sent by Reaper. Thank you very much, Reaper. It means a lot. We've had some bits sent recently by Wolfie and Reaper now, and the leaderboard is just going to keep growing. Wolfie sending 4,200 in total, which is just absolutely incredible stuff. So thank you very much, Reaper, sending about 400 or so in total, which is absolutely brilliant. And he sends even more. Thank you very much, Reaper. Oh my God, Wolfie plays sending now 300. Okay, the bits are ramping up, everybody. I think we've reached the next Twitch payout as well, which is very nice. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You guys always contesting. But we've got 7 minutes and 40 seconds of qualifying, and it is really ramping up, everybody. The wet weather has disappeared, and now we are ready to absolutely push. The dries are coming out. Drivers are out now on the softs. As I will quickly go on Do Not Disturb. That is my bad. Not normally do that straight away, but I completely forget sometimes. Why can't I? Oh my God. No! Oh my God, bro. Thank you very much, Reaper, for the bits again. Absolutely spoiling me tonight. Thank you very much. And again. Wow. I might have to. I'm gonna have to come back to this at the end of qualifying. We're getting some lovely amount of bits here. Thank you very much, Reaper. And Scott Holmes with the 131.7. That is beautiful over the line. He, at this moment in time, is the current provisional pole sitter ahead of Chris in the Kick Sauber. The RB dominating at this moment in time, ladies and gentlemen. Chris second place, F1 Lightning third, Etsy in fourth. Thank you very much for the bits, Reaper. I appreciate it. It's not as much as Wolfie, but I'm trying my best to support you. Absolutely, mate. It doesn't matter at all. You just watching the stream helps me a lot. So you sending bits is incredible. Thank you very much, Reaper. It really does mean a lot. I appreciate it. As Dusty Bazoon then. He puts himself second place. That is a beautiful time, ladies and gentlemen. That really is good. And if you're in either of the chats, make sure that you drop in a qualifying prediction. Who's going to be on pole? Who is going to be on pole, ladies and gentlemen, for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and qualifying? We're just going to have to see. Wolfie in the chat. He says you're only 4K off to Reaper. Just absolutely flexing it. He's, wow. Wolfie sending 4,500 bits in total now, which is mind-blowing stuff. Massive supporter on the channel. And if anyone's got any suggestions on what I could do to you know, I don't know, expand the channel maybe, you know, promote it a bit better, let me know, or maybe just portray it a little bit better, let me know, and I can try and make some improvements. But hopefully you enjoy this afternoon's race, everybody. As DM sets it in second place. That is really nice. Dusty Bazoon in third. Wolfie, I could do another 5K. I mean, that, wow. I mean, it would be crazy, wouldn't it? Absolute scenes. I think if you sent 5K bits, I think that would be, I think we'd actually have to do a celebration for that. I think that would be a crazy stuff, wouldn't it? I think that'd have to be there'd have to be a whole like a celebratory stream for that or something. I don't know. No! Wolfie plays 500 bits, cannot stop himself. Thank you very much. Wow. Look at that, 5K bits that Wolfie plays has sent in total. He's a crazy man. He's a crazy man. We might even have to set up a a bit of a celebratory thing now. 5K bit. He's got a new badge and everything. Crazy, mate. Crazy stuff. Well, thank you very much for the support, Wolfie. That is a lot of bits sent. You've reached it. You've reached it. Finally, 5K. Big milestone. Sam Wipeout, the only driver to retire this session, ladies and gentlemen, with 3.5 minutes to go of this session in qualifying. We are one round away from the penultimate round of this season, a 10-round season that is that we have brought to you this season, these last few weeks, and it is all going to come down to the last two, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Williams of Balint and Edsy, who currently lead the championship. Sauber, second place with Chris and Barmy Tick. They aren't too far off. Barmy Tick, to be fair, is all the way down in 10. Not too good for him at the moment. 3 minutes to go. And this could all turn round. Scott Holmes in the pit lane. The dry has emerged. And now a lot of the times were, of course, set on the wet. So now everyone's in the pit lane. It'll be the dry compound tyres back out again. And who can do it once more? Scott Holmes on pole at the moment, but will it be him? Will it be Chris? Will it be Barmy Tick? Who's it going to be? We're going to have to look. Wolfie sending the Toto Wolf. Is that? Oh, it's the 5K bits one, isn't it? Oh my! I think apart from me, you're the only person, mate, that can use that. It's pretty crazy. Exclusive emote for just you, Toto Wolf. Love it. I can see McLaren coming into the pit lane. There's a few drivers coming out of the pit lane as well, ladies and gentlemen. Seven months, send 5K bits. Yeah. It's been a good run for you, mate. You've been supporting us for a long while, a long while, which is good to see. I appreciate that. 7-month subscriber, longest one we've got at Jack Crossley commentary. There's a minute and 30 seconds to go, and I'm going to try and move away from the chat for now because this is going to be a lovely end to qualifying, everybody. The dry is among us. It's going to be really good. It really is. The dry weather is here. The dry tyres are out. There's only a few drivers on the intermediate still, but the majority have moved to the soft compound tyres, and Scott, DM, majority of the drivers actually are actually out on the track now and ready to go again. Who's going to dominate here today then? In the Abu Dhabi weather, under the lights, under the bright spotlights, it's going to get pretty intense. These drivers at the absolute top of their game then. And Scott Holmes in the RB is going to come towards the line soon. There's also Kick Sauber ahead of him. Of Chris, he'll be the first man to cross the line and start a lap on. Let's Barmy. No, never mind. Barmy Tick's doing it. He's got 0.6 improvement first sector. Let's see what he can do then, ladies and gentlemen. "20 seconds to go of qualifying. Barmy Tick to end it off then for himself in the Kick Sauber, in a team that currently sits second in the World Championship standings. He's going to do everything in his power to get away from this P10. It needs to be higher than this, and at the Asp Arena circuit this afternoon, he's on a roll in qualifying with 5 seconds to go, and he will make it towards the line, but this will be his final time into the second sector. Nearly 1.5 seconds found. That is incredible time found from Barmy Tick, everybody. The back end does spin out on him just a little bit there in the Kick Sauber, but he keeps it together mostly on this track. But here in Abu Dhabi, on the 8th round in qualifying, Barmy Tick is going to head towards the line, ladies and gentlemen. And he has got to try and put a good time on the board this afternoon. The fuel mode comes on. He's as light as a feather, absolutely flying. He goes into the final corner. Barmy Tick towards the line. What time will it be for him? He puts it on provisional pole, ladies and gentlemen, by a second. Absolutely brilliant. Barmy Tick provisional pole at this moment in time. Now we look for the drivers who are coming around the final few corners. That will be his teammate Chris in the other Kick Sauber. P5, finding time. He's going to head into the final corner. Will it be his time this afternoon? He's going to cross the line, ladies and gentlemen, and he snatches pole. It's a 1:30.2. Chris currently on provisional pole. The Kick Saubers 1 and 2 lining up on the front row of the grid. It's looking very strong for the Kick Saubers. Scott Holmes then, the man that has been on pole in the early stages. He's going to try and snatch it away from the Kick Saubers. It's going to only be 3rd place for Scott Holmes. Over the line then for the Aston Martin. Dutchy Bazoon, 3rd place for him. P3, Scott Holmes knocked down to 4. DM then will cross the line. He takes 5 as he gets there now. But what a qualifying, everybody. And it is a 1-2 for the Kick Saubers. Wolfie, want to redo Monaco for next season? If I was you, I would leave it off the calendar, but if you want to keep it, no worries, mate. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying for Abu Dhabi is Chris, who takes pole, followed by his teammate, Barmy Tick. A lovely front row lookout for the Kick Saubers, and going to help them massively to build up that 11-point deficit that they've got to the other team, the Williams. But it is the Aston Martin of Dusty Bazoon in 3, Scott Holmes 4, 5 is DM, ladies and gentlemen. Next up is the Grand Prix. This is going to be a brilliant afternoon, everybody, here in EA Racing League. Very much looking forward to it. The championship is tighter than ever. There's going to be 2 rounds left after this one. And it is going to be Brilliant. Today, though, is Abu Dhabi with Wolfie in the chat, who has in total sent 5,000 bits, which is just absolutely mind-blowing stuff. 5k bits sent by the Wolf he plays, and he's been a subscriber for 7 months as well. So massive, massive help to the channel. I've just looked as well. He's sent over 999 messages. So over 1,000 messages in the chat, which is crazy. Top supporter. Oh, Jack Rusty comms. But hopefully this afternoon will be nice, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I've just pinned by Jack Rusty. I did not pin that. Off. If you're in either of the chats, let us know for EA Racing League. Hopefully you're going to enjoy this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Is the stream looking all right? I've seen on the dashboard that we dropped a few frames earlier on. So let me know if it's been lagging or not, or if it's okay now. Seems good right now, but it dropped some frames earlier on, which I missed. So let me know. Wolfie's the goat. Yes, he is. Stream keeps stopping and starting. Okay, hang on. It was absolutely fine yesterday, so it shouldn't be. But anyway, hopefully it's going to be fine, everybody. The 8th round of the season about to begin. 5 lights ahead of the drivers, and we are away. It's lights out, and away we go. The kick Salvers off the line brilliantly, then into turn 1 here in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be Chris in 1, Barmy Tick in 2. Scott Holmes through the first corner very tightly and neatly. Then it's the 2 Aston Martins that tussle it down then. Coming through the first few corners, it is DM that will get ahead of his teammate Justin Bazzoon in P5. Ethan Taylor comes at home in P6 at the moment, side by side, one of the Aston Martins. He's going to send it on the outside line. The Aston Martins then took back a bit there as Ethan Taylor all the way down to P13. I'm not entirely sure what's happened with him there, but he's fell down the order and missed out on a lot of places, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon. All the way down into the left-hander then. A brilliant battle from all of the drivers at the moment. Up at the front, we've got Barmy Tick and Scott Holmes swapping positions. Barmy's just about holding on to his P2 right now. Chris is running away with it, but behind that his teammate is in dire need of help as Scott Holmes is going to try and pass him now round the outside line. It's the kick Sauber against the V-car. He clears him round the outside line, and Scott Holmes for now is into the 2nd place. Brilliant stuff. The first lap of 29 here in Abu Dhabi. An absolutely brilliant start to a brilliant Grand Prix on the 8th round of the season. And Chris running away with it by half a second. It's Scott and Barmy Tick then having to deal with the scrap behind, who currently having a nice little scrap then. Will we see it again? Let us, we'll have to see. But in the chat, let us know if the stream does keep stopping and starting. Wolfie did say it is, but I'm hoping that it is all good, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment. Race strategies on your screen then. 2 stop and the 3 stop, medium to hard, or the soft to medium to hard, for the 3 stop strategy. Lap 2 of 29 then. The McLaren taking a very wide line all the way down into the left-hander. Behind that then the Mercedes of Scissors trying to get a move there. But couldn't. I think never mind. It was Vettel, I think, trying to get a move on Sam Wipeout side by side. He jumps the curb, loses out into P15, ladies and gentlemen. But he's going to try and gain that gap back again. Maybe not though, because Mashtag Brady then up the inside line. 15th position now, makes that move. Brilliant move for him. Mashtag into P15. A lot of lag on the grid today, ladies and gentlemen. Not entirely sure why, unless that's me. I don't know, but a bit weird, it really is. But hopefully it gets better. Lap 3 of 29 though. Chris currently leading in the kick Sauber. Scott Holmes second place. Barmy Tick third. DM 4. Dusty 5. Deafy 6. Scissors in 7. Lightning 8. Pulse 9. Bjarni in 10. Behind that then, the drivers head all the way down into the left-hander, ladies and gentlemen. A brilliant battle from all of the drivers at the moment. And around the outside is going to go Ethan Taylor. Will he be able to get through? Lots of what is going on? It looks very laggy at the moment. I'm not sure if that's me or not. I'm really not. Bjarni and Paul side by side. Bjarni up the inside line. Can he get through? He absolutely will. Brilliant move there for the McLaren. Clears the Williams of Pulse. Bjarni's through on lap 3 of 29. Begins lap 4 now. Chris still leads, and the gap from 5 tenths to 6 now into turn 1. Behind that is Scott Holmes. The gap now 8 tenths of a second. Cleared him even more. Now 9. Look at the gap. That was absolutely brilliant then through the first few corners here for Chris. Scott Holmes sandwiched in by the kick Saubers right now. Here we go then. Brilliant move. We're about to witness Scott Holmes the gain on Chris. Barmy Tick behind him. Will he make a move? Getting very close here then into turn 1. A bit of tussling going on behind with DM trying to get through past Barmy Tick. The front wing hitting the rear wing there. We head all the way down into turn 9. Barmy Tick to gain on Scott Holmes. Scott Holmes to gain on the race leader. It's nearly 3 abreast then into the left-hander. Ahead up the inside line goes Scott Holmes. And from second, he takes the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Chris, second place. Behind that is Barmy Tick. The race leader loses out on his top spot, and the gap that once was 9 tenths has now reduced to him being behind by 3. At 5 of 29, the 2 Aston Martins, 4, 5, 2 kick Saubers, 2 and 3, but Scott Holmes with the world on his shoulders leads the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in the very early stages. He is the sole RB today, and he is absolutely carrying the team on his shoulders. He really, really is the only RB actually on the team, I believe. There's everybody else that would race for the RB. Are reserve drivers. Scott Holmes also holds the most race wins this season. And we head into turn 9 with Chris and Barmy Tick just sniffing out, trying to get through. Dusty Bazoon then in 4, trying to make a move past Barmy Tick. And behind that, TM is pretty close in on the action as well, ladies and gentlemen, on lap 5. Is Ethan Taylor with a 3-second time penalty, the first one of this afternoon actually, and not too bad at all, as we haven't had many in the 5 laps so far. Sam, Mashtag and Ethan in 14, 15 and 16th position. We've got Raphael in 17th position, ladies and gentlemen, at the back of the grid at the moment. Hashtag Brady to gain on Ethan Taylor up the inside line with a brilliant move there. Look at that, absolutely clears it for a moment, but will he get ahead? The Haas then makes contact around the outside then. Goes to Haas car, and it's going to be Mashtag that comes out worse from that. He spins around, but he catches it. and the Haas lets him back through, I believe. After that move, ladies and gentlemen, that is all done with. Then Scott Holmes leads. Barmy Tick moves past his teammate of Chris, and now Barmy Tick second place. He is on the run for P1. And he do it, lap 6 of 29. Chris and Barmy Tick swap positions then, ladies and gentlemen. Chris goes to second place, Barmy Tick down to 3. Bearing in mind, these two boys started 1 and 2, so they have moved down, unfortunately, at the moment. Oh, look at this then. A battle soon to happen behind that as well. Dusty Bazoons and Barmy Tick then. Dusty to make a move side by side. Can Barmy Tick get through? Trying his absolute best. He gets deposited down. He doesn't make a move just yet, everybody. But lap 7 of 29. That is all to play for. Look at this behind. Now F1 Lightning and DM. Giving it an absolutely brilliant scrap from behind the Red Bull up the inside line. It is going to be DM, the Aston Martin, around the outside line. Who will get ahead here? An absolutely brilliant move and a brilliant battle. F1 Lightning through to 5. Sam Wipeout with a 3-second time penalty. Pit stops coming in for Edsy and Victor, everybody. And Ethan Taylor too, as Raphael will be able to get up to P14 now after jumping up the order. Oh, contact here, DM and Deppy then. Having a scrap, everybody. 6 and 7. It'll be DM to get through to P6. Behind that is Deppy in 7. Will he make a move then around the outside line? This is going to be a lovely move if he can do so. Here he goes then. The Ferrari's through into P6. DM trying to get through as well in P7 as now he's got scissors up the backside trying to make a bit of a move here. Pit stops from hashtag Brady and Sam Wipeout then, everybody. As on your screen you can see the tyres at this moment in time. Hashtag Ethan Taylor swapping positions there. Mastro up to P15. As there is your change in positions. Ethan's down 10. He started P6. We've got a pit stop coming in now for Defy, who also picked up a 10-second time penalty at the same time, which is really not ideal, ladies and gentlemen. Ezzy with the fastest lap then as they cross the line. And Scott Holmes being your race leader right now on lap 10 of 29, the man that leads with the most wins of this season and the most fastest laps. We get a safety car. Defy retires. Why did Defy not? I'm not entirely sure why Defy didn't just retire in the pit lane instead of bringing a safety car out. But there you go. Safety car's out, everybody. Into the pit lane then for Scott Holmes and Chris, Dusty, Barmy, F1 Lightning, DM, Scissors, Bjarni, Pulse, everybody following each other in. Vettel's going to do the same thing, and the safety car has really influenced all of these decisions now. Raphael, Edsy, Victor, Mashtag Brady, most likely, well, unless he, well, no, never mind, he already made a pit stop, didn't he? My bad. Lap 11 of 29. Defy is the only man to retire today in the Grand Prix. Leaves us with 16 as we are sat under the safety car. People, I think somebody in the pit lane there. It's going to be an Aston Martin of Dusty Bazoon again. Possibly a bit of wing damage there then, because we've just seen him go in. Not wing damage, it's the hard compound tyres then. I think he went on the wrong tyres. That looks like the probable answer there, as he now finds the hards. Yeah, shouldn't be too long before we get racing again. Now it's only just to Bazoon and Victor to catch up. And they are pretty much there as well. So it shouldn't be long now, ladies and gentlemen. Very nearly there. Safety car in at the end of this lap, everybody. Here we go. Time to go racing again. Scott Holmes leads this race. And will he lead it after turn 1? Scott in 1, Chris 2, F1 Lightning 3. Into turn 1 we go. Scott Holmes leads. And the battle continues. Nearly halfway through this race now, ladies and gentlemen. And the battle is going to continue all the way down into turn 5. Chris again on Scott Holmes. Will he make a move? He waits back for now. Doesn't do a Max Verstappen up the inside. He does wait for now. But he carries on all the way down in towards the left-hander. Chris again and getting on Scott Holmes. And for the second time today, he could be the race leader. Gaining on the Visa Cash Out Racing Ball, but he can't make that move just at the moment. Chris has to stay behind in second place, but he's very close to doing so. And it won't be long. It will not be long before he makes that move once again. Chris again on Scott Holmes around the outside line with a bit of lag, but it shouldn't stop us from doing what he needs to do. Up the inside, what a brilliant battle we're witnessing at the moment, everybody. It is side by side between the drivers. Chris on the backside of Scott, and then behind that as well, Mashtag's broken into P7. He's had an absolutely brilliant race. Never mind. Commentator's curse. He's all the way down to 16. Oh, that was really bad commentator's curse. Oh wow. That might need clipping actually. That was really bad. And now he's driving backwards. Please somebody clip that, please. That was the most amazing timing, but it's very bad for Mashtag, of course. Mashtag Brady retires. Here he comes then, ladies and gentlemen. Will Scott Holmes make a move on Chris, trying his best? Absolutely brilliant stuff then. They're all battling brilliantly into the left-hander. Side by side with one of the drivers there. I think it's Scott Holmes and F1 Lightning. It is. Scott gets out ahead. Second place for him right now. Chris leads the race, ladies and gentlemen. Scott second place, F1 Lightning third, Bjarni in 4. In the chat, Peekaboo, yo Jai, it's good to see you. Hello. Welcome in. I do apologise about the stream lag. It's been a bit of a up and down stream today, I'm not gonna lie. How are you doing? I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing? Very well indeed. Here in Abu Dhabi, lap 15 of 29. Vettel and Sam Wipeout swapping positions then. And for people just joining, safety car has just gone in. We are racing again in Abu Dhabi on the 15th lap of 29. We're about halfway through this race today. As a move up the inside line from Edsy on Sam Wipeout, a bit of contact there as well. Side by side through the left-hander here. Who will be ahead? It's going to be just Sam Wipeout ahead of that one actually. Dusty Bazoons It's a 12. Etsy down to 13 after that battle, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really good, thank you. Good to hear. It's been a while since I've had you in the stream. It really has. A long while. Right, there we go, sorted that. There we go then, everybody. Chris leads, but maybe not for long. Scott Holmes up the inside line to contest for the lead. Then up the inside, side-by-side action here. Who will be ahead? It's going to be Chris for now as they battle absolutely brilliantly, side-by-side, all the way through the final few corners here in Abu Dhabi on the 16th lap of 29. Scott behind, Chris in front. It's going to be Bjarni in third as well. Who will get ahead? Wolf in the chat, 16 laps. Wow, 17 now. 17 laps. Peekaboo and Wolfie in the chat. It's good to see you both. Thanks for joining us. Wolfie has crossed the line of 5k bits today, which is incredible, everybody. As Vettel through past DM into the turn 5, we head all the way down into turn 6. What will it be here? Barbie Tit then to gain on F1 Lightning. Brilliant move from him. Can he pick another driver off the McLaren of Bjarni? He can't do right now, but he's definitely going to make that move soon. Look at the speed he's got. The kick Sauber, Barmy Tig. Wolfie, next target 6k. Absolutely, love to hear it. Yeah, Wolfie, you remember how I was talking about just reaching that payout yesterday? I was on about reaching that payout. Well, we have way crossed that payout now, so thank you very much. I will definitely be being paid this month, which is really good, so thank you. Side by side, F1 Lightning and Scissors. Scissors going to try and make a move. F1 Lightning in 5. Ladies and gentlemen, will he make a move up the inside? Lightning's just about ahead, and he holds P5. Mercedes makes a bit of contact there with him on lap 18. But right now, the Red Bull is going to get ahead and stay ahead. Make sure your details are correct, says Wolfie. I will do, don't worry, I'll make sure this time. Because if they're not correct, you have to wait another month, which is a pain. 10 laps to go then, everybody. Lap 19 at 29. We finally break it. And I do apologise for the stream tonight. It's been pretty laggy. I really don't know why it's been pretty laggy. Nothing's different from normal, so I think it's just one of them nights. I really think it's just one of them nights. I can't really do much about it, unfortunately. Side by side down the straight very nearly. Chris looking for a move on Scott Holmes, the man that's won the most races this season in F1 for EA Racing League. And now Chris to gain on Scott Holmes. Seen this many times before. Can he do it again? He can. For a brief moment, he's going to go side by side with him. Chris and Scott Holmes to battle towards the end with 10 laps to go. Who will get ahead here? It's going to be Scott for now, holding it brilliantly from the kick Sauber. Behind that is the McLaren of Bjarni, but only 10 more, ladies and gentlemen, and this is it for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in round 8. Then we have 2 rounds left, rounding off with Monza. Pit stop for Sam Wipeout and Ethan Taylor, both coming out of the pit lane. Ethan does get ahead. Victor and Eddie swapping positions as well there. Oh my lord, 3 abreast. Look at that, absolutely brilliant down the inside then. For Edsy, side by side with the Aston Martin. Who's going to be ahead here? It's going to be Aston. He takes the curb too much there. Here comes the Williams of Edsy with 9 laps to go. Will he make a move? There's a big scrap going on ahead of that as well. Look at this. Chris gets in the lead. Edsy now for the 10th place as well. 9th place, sorry. Will he make a move around the outside line? Contact to take each other off the track, everybody. Edsy in P9. He just finally made that move for a moment, but the Aston Martin will not give up. Side by side, Eddie and DM giving an absolutely brilliant battle here. Can Eddie try and make his way through, or will that be it for his move? Is that the nail in the coffin? I think that's it for now. Rafael in P15, ladies and gentlemen. In the chat, have a word with him, Raf. Oh, moves here then. Scott Holmes back again into the lead. Chris 2nd place. Bjarni holds 3rd, Barmy tick 4. But in the championship, it is going to be the Kick Saubers that will lead after... it'll be the Kick Saubers, that will lead at the end of this race if it finishes like this. Only 2 penalties as well, which is pretty damn good. Jack, views have dropped massively since CPG Belgium. Well, what actually happened that race, mate? Why was it so good? Did you just invite loads of did you invite loads of people you know, and then what happened after that? Why did it fall off. Chris Stem with the fastest lap of the afternoon now as he crosses the line as the race leader. 6 laps to go. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, that will conclude round 8 and give us 2 rounds left, including with Monza, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be a very nice last race, hopefully. Hopefully I'll be there for it. I should be there for all of them, but you never know. When things come up, it's going to be good though, the last race. Ethan Taylor with a 3-second time penalty. Watching along from the back of Chris's car then as he watches Scott Holmes in his rear view mirror. And wow, these guys are absolutely top of their game. Scott Holmes to gain on Chris with only 5 laps to go of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Yeah, Wolfie, that sounds pretty good. Hopefully it does turn out well. Side by side, Scott Holmes into the lead now. Chris back down to 2. And I think these guys are just going to keep going at it all until the end of this race now, ladies and gentlemen. We are very much nearing the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's been a long race, but, you know, I think the start was great. It's kind of mellowed out towards the end. Also with a 3-second time penalty, everybody, as we're lap 25 of 29 now. 4 laps to go. Hashtag Brady and Deffy, the 2 drivers to retire today. There's the Alpine and the Ferrari, and the scrapping continues. It'll be Chris for the lead once more, past Scott Holmes. Lovely stuff, but who will be ahead once we get towards the line is the question, ladies and gentlemen. We are just going to have to see. Scott Holmes in 2nd place, Bjarni in 3rd. Then from F1 Lightning, Barmy, Tig, Vettel, Dusty Bazoon, and Scissors, DM, Edsy, Pulse, Victor, Ethan Taylor, Sam Whiteout, and Raphael in 15. Yeah, that's fair enough, Wolfie, in the chat. As Scott Holmes, but again, he can't make the move this time around. First time in a while, he hasn't made a move down that section of the track. Will he be able to do it in the second part, though? Down towards turn 9. It's going to be Scott Holmes gaining and gaining and gaining. Will it be a move here? DM with a 3-second time, but he's a bit Scott Holmes around the outside line. He does make that move here in Abu Dhabi. But will he hold it is the question, with only 3 laps to go. Behind that, Jussi Bazoons and Vettel swapping position, Dusty into 6. Barmy ticking 5, F1 Lightning 4. Going on the podium then at the moment. Will he finish though on the podium? His teammate, Sam Wipeout, down in 14. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. The penultimate lap of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix begins. It is lap 28 of 29. Chris leads, Scott Holmes in second place. Chris leads the World Championship and the race today. Scott Holmes is the most race winner holder in this season. So, you know, best of both worlds at the moment. It really, really is. Best of both worlds indeed. And not a move this time around. Maybe, like we saw last time, we're going to move down into turn 9. It is a possibility then for Scott Holmes to do it again, ladies and gentlemen, and make that move. But will he wait, and will he do it next lap around for it to happen on the last lap? Maybe. That exactly done the exact thing. He is going to wait. Scott Holmes will not make that move. He will wait. It's the final lap coming up in a moment. Right then, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 28 of 29 is going to conclude. Lap 29 of 29 begins the final lap of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Chris leads the World Championship standings and leads the race. Scott Holmes holds the most race wins of this season out of the 7 rounds we've had so far. Will he be another race winner today, or will it be Chris? Scott Holmes, we've seen he is able to pass from this kind of distance. We've seen it already. But can he do it this time around? This is the first overtaking opportunity. Will he go for it now, or will he wait for the second overtaking opportunity? We will have to see. He's going to go for it now. He's going to send it on the inside line. Scott Holmes, the V-carb, on the kickstart with the championship leader. He's through. It's Scott into P1. Chris then into second place, ladies and gentlemen, and Holmes makes an absolutely brilliant move. He gets into the first place position at the moment. We're going to get Chris then trying to fight back on the inside line. He absolutely wants this move now, the final lap of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It all comes down to this. It's round 8, of the season. 2 more rounds to go. Chris and Scott absolutely going mental on the final lap of this race. Scott on the outside line, he's ahead, no penalties for any of them. And it's looking like it's going to go the way of Scott Holmes then. He'll cross the line here in Abu Dhabi ahead of Chris to win yet again another race this season. And most importantly, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in the bag for Scott Holmes. Chris second place, Bjarni third, F1 Lightning 4. Army Tick 5, Dusty Bazoons 6, 7 Scissors, 8 Vettel, 9 Eddie, 10 Pulse, 11 Victor, 12 Ethan Taylor, 13 DM, 12 DM actually, Ethan Taylor 13 on penalties, Sam Wipeouts crossing the line in 14, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. 15 will be Raphael. There you go then, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Holmes is your race winner for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, joined by the Aston Martin for the fastest lap. It is driver of the day, the McLaren. Most overtakes the Ferrari. For some reason, my game now doesn't want to work. There we go. It is Scott Holmes, the winner. DM then, fastest lap, driver of the day, Bjarni. Most overtakes, Victor. Cleanest driver is F1 Lightning, ladies and gentlemen. P1 is Scott Holmes, then wins out in Abu Dhabi once again. Chris, second place, then joined by Bjarni on the podium in third. F1 Lightning, 4, 5, Barmy Tick, 6, Dusty Bazoon, 7 is Scissors, 8 is Vettel, 9 Edsy, and 10 is Pulse. Moving down the grid, Victory 11, DM 12, Sam Wipeout 13, Ethan Taylor in 14, 15 is Raphael, ladies and gentlemen, in P15. Love to see it. That is it from me then, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me on this Saturday evening. My next race will be our league on the Sunday evening tomorrow night. First time back in a while at 7:30. Make sure you're there for it. Have a lovely evening and see you later. Good night.